Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning trading room. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. All right, here we are with the NASDAQ. Let's take a look here at our daily chart. And you can see the market took a bit of a kick in the teeth on Friday. Overall, it was a very bearish day, even though the morning session was relatively quiet. The market falling off steadily all day and kind of reinforcing the downtrend. Note how this bar encompasses the range of at least the 2 days prior to it. These are known as engulfing bars. If you've ever researched anything on candlesticks, you know that engulfing bars tend to be very strong, especially off of significant support and resistance levels. And I think you could make a strong case that 8,000 here is a pretty significant area of resistance. So we'll see how the market continues. We are opening, we're currently trading at around 78.80, and you can see the market leaving off at around 78.50 in that neighborhood. So we do have a little bit of a downside gap here, even though the current bar doesn't show that gap. It's because it's also including the overnight session. And of course, volume is up. So all those things maybe hinting toward a bigger correction, maybe. Overall, of course, you can see the trend is still fairly bullish, so you don't want to get too crazy on the short side. All right, everything looking fairly neutral here at the moment, though. Trade forecaster looks like says we are in trend mode, moving into scalp mode. So that's quite the transition. The overnight, fairly bullish. If this little rally here fails, then we will already see a test of the extreme here to start the day. Oh, and here we go. Look at that. Maybe a little bit of a flinch. Well, this is a little bit of a gut call, this one. We got this number 2 signal that's going to develop right here. Oh, and how nice, we have a second push opportunity on it as well. We do have the market in a little bit of a twist right now. We can look to short it on this number 2 signal. We can even look to buy it above this high. And because it's early, I'm going to try to stretch my profit order a little bit here. So we're going to go from 76 down to 66. Oh, sorry, not 66, 71. Turn my chart trader on. There we go. Okay, so we're in at 71. I'm going to try to get 10 points out of this trade. Ooh, nasty hard edge bounce there. Looking for the sellers to hold the highs. So all I'm looking for here is some early momentum, because hey, it's Monday morning. The market may have a few things to sort out, And I'm basing my short on Friday's very, very bearish session. So I'm kind of giving the nod here to the sellers this morning. Ooh, not looking very good right now. They keep fighting back from the hard edge. Oh, they're going to tag me out. You stinkers. We broke these resistance areas. So they're going to make a run here at the high. And my stop's right there just above the highs. I don't know. What you could do, I don't normally reverse on positions, but you know, when you attempt something like this and the market does not follow through to the short side, you could look at reversing. I don't like to reverse on trades because a lot of times what will happen is you'll end up getting stopped out both directions. Like it isn't annoying enough to get tagged out one way. All right, last chance for the sellers now. We've got to take out this low. So as we get close to this low here, if we get close to this low, I'm going to roll my exit orders in rather aggressively. Crap. Here they go again. The highs, it's making higher swing highs, or pardon me, higher swing lows. That's not good for a downtrend. And here we go with a number one signal. Notice the candy striping though. That's problematic. Tells me that we are already in scalp mode, not trend mode. I was hoping to get a trend mode target, but I don't think that's going to happen. No, not happening. Well, that was unfortunate. Okay, well, here we are. We're checking out the top end, and we'll see whether there's any follow through to the upside now. All right, here we go. We're getting our, oh, actually we had a late filter entry signal here in the Falcon. We're going to produce something similar to a hard edge bounce. So we're going to try to buy it in, and here I'm going to try to stretch my profit target a little. So what I'm trying to do here is the market did not want to head lower. I was looking for the next signal to develop, which is this one right here, this hard edge bounce. And now I'm going to check it to the long side. Profit target will be the median line, or sorry, it's not median line, secondary resistance. Up here at 79.16. I know you've heard it before, but it's important not to get married to your decisions. You're going to make wrong decisions when you're trading. Just accept it, that it was a poor decision, and try to make a right decision. And there will be times that you'll get gun shy and all that, and that's all natural. You just have to do your best to get past it. All right, well, I guess I had better bring my stops up here a little bit, bring them up here to break even. Looks like the seller's ganging up on us now that we're up at 7,900. That's looking like it's a bit of a problem area. Okay, well, that's good. Rode out the first swing. We have made our scalp target, or pardon me, swing target, and we are 3/4 of the way to our eagle target. You have enough in here right now to offset the earlier loss. Come on, give me one more swing. Pretty please. And I'll protect profit. I promise I will. So if we can swing above 7,900, I think that's probably a good time to start rolling stops up here. The Bollinger Suite, you can see the Bollinger's just starting to dip a little bit here. All right, let's see if they give it to us. Okay, I've got a couple of bullish bars in my favor, so I guess I'll protect a little bit more profit. If the market turns here at the 7,900 level again, it's likely to take me out of break even anyway. Nuts. Oh well, that's that reaction that you get when we hit our high probability profit targets. Shoot. Oh well. Heartbreaker. There they go. They give me that little bit of a head fake, and then they push on through. Scoundrels. Yeah, look at that. You scoundrels. So, all right. Turns out I should have done one of two things. I should have either taken profit on target, or if I'm going to try to go for a bigger profit target, I need to be more liberal with my stops. And there they go, just pushing on through. They're going to get here to the, or try to get to the resistance zone. All right, well, now, well, we got to wait for a pullback, but I can't believe that the sellers would walk away from this market entirely. I'm still thinking there's going to be some sort of bearish pushback here. And I would entertain a counter trend signal, a number 2 signal, while it is perhaps counter trend on the day. So far the day looking a little bit more bullish when you consider the overall trend. It may actually still be bearish as well. Well, I'm stuck now. I got stopped out of my long position, and now I'm stuck waiting for either a pullback or a test of the extreme to give me a chance to get back into the market. Not much I can do with it. Otherwise, just gotta wait it out. Darn it, that would have been a really nice move here this morning. And you can see we did make it all the way up to the secondary resistance zone, and now we're getting that reaction that we anticipated. Stinkers. Oh well, okay, now we're getting a little bit of a pullback. That should at least offer us an opportunity, either to take the market long or to take it short. Somewhere through here it's going to fail though. somewhere through here, the buyers or the sellers are going to lose their grip on the market. And that's going to set the tone here for the remainder of the day, I think. So we'll see if I get a test of the extreme. The trading band getting a little bit broad. You see we're up here around 60 ticks wide. That's not uncommon to see a reversal when the band starts to get that broad. Now, when you have something that looks like a trend, you want to wait for the market to hit that phase where it bounces around a little bit. That will enable you to place your continuation order above the current highs. That's going to be your safe trade. There is obviously room here to move to the downside. A pullback here to the hard edge would see the market move back to somewhere around the 78, 96, 97 zone. Okay, the Bollinger is getting a little bit weak. Getting here below the indicator, dropping below the Bollinger is suggesting maybe a little bit of bullishness. The range is definitely getting a little bit smaller. By that I mean each progressive leg up is getting shorter, right? This little push up here is shorter than this one, is shorter than this one, shorter than this one. So it is almost as though momentum is waning. And once again, I'm not counting the buyers out. I'm just looking, making sure that we have a top in. I don't want to be buying right at the high until I'm sure that there's something that resembles a top. Okay, we got a little bit of a test of the extreme here now. So if we get a signal to sell, do I want to be that aggressive? All right. There we go. There's the number 2 signal. I'm going to take it early, and I will take profit on target. I will be a good boy this time. The big target is the hard edge, which would see the market trade all the way back here to 7,900, which is definitely doable. All right, here we go. Now, this is definitely a higher risk trade. It is full on counter trend. I'm going to get ready with my stops. When and if the market gets about halfway down, I will look to roll my stops to break even. Almost there. No, not yet. Struggling a little bit with that first hard edge. Oh, you stinkers. Come on. Come on. There we go. All right, come on, give me that little down tick, you sons of bears. Get down there. Oh, don't leave me hanging here. They're just a couple of ticks from my profit objective. Who told them that's where my profit objective was? Come on. Okay. Whew. It had me going there for a while. Okay, now we're seeing a little bit more follow through. So the actual target now on this number 2 signal is the hard edge of the trading band. But now that we definitely have a top in, you don't have to do it right now, but you could put your just in case order to buy above the high. Now that the market, that the sellers are challenging the buyers, the ball is in the buyer's court, and they have to, well, put up or shut up, as they say. I'll revisit that when and if the market gets back toward the highs. But like I said, you can certainly put your order in at that point. So had I taken profit on my second trade, I'd actually be in a profitable position right now, and my trading day would be done, as I have met my 3 trade quota, and I would be in profit. I suspect what's going to happen here is we're going to see bullish pushback, and then there'll be a little bit of a failure. I think the market will try to make its way back here to the hard edge, and then we're going to see a more serious bullish attempt from the hard edge. That's my guess. Hi, Ron. Ron's asking about the journal and help on the install. I just got your email this morning. I sent it off to Jason, so you'll probably be hearing from Jason shortly, and he'll get you hooked up. So my apologies. I was away from the computer pretty much all weekend, and so if you've written me, I will get back to you. Okay, well, we're just kind of waiting here. We got a trend change signal going on here in the Falcon, and of course we had our first micro macro cross here in the Hawk. The Hawk slipping low enough to find its profit target. The Falcon still working on its profit objective. It is a viable signal, but just recognize when you take a signal like that, it's definitely counter trend. Trend trumps all. So when in doubt, stay with the trend. And if you can't recognize the trend, find yourself an 8-year-old kid and ask them, is this going up or down? And they'll tell you. Phil asks, Eric, where in the Raptor directions does it explain the change signals, and how do you get the vertical lines off the chart on Ninja 7? Okay, well, let's do the easy one first. So the background highlights, I know they can be a little bit annoying. Ninja 7, Ninja 8, they're both the same. So what you're going to do is you need to go to your indicator panel, and then you're going to highlight the Raptor. Now what you want to do is you want to find the setting that says background highlights. On Ninja 7, it's simple. Just scroll all the way to the bottom. On Ninja 8, you got to look for it a little bit. Here we go. And the one you want is background opacity. If you change that value to 0, your background highlights will disappear. So like I said, on Ninja 7, just scroll to the very bottom and it will have background highlight opacity. Change that value to 0 and you're good to go. Ninja 8, you have to hunt for it a little bit. I think that's the only one. Yeah, that must be it. Background opacity. Now, regarding the signals, the easiest way, okay, hold on a sec here. Okay, so if you go here to youtube.com and you search Indicator Warehouse, it will come to the Indicator Warehouse videos. You want a video from almost a year ago, so you're going to highlight the videos here. I'm going to get them to move these videos, these two videos, to the main page so that they're easier to find. But in the meantime, you want the August 2nd and August 13 videos. So you highlight all the videos and then scroll down through here. September, here we go. Where are we? August 2nd. So I can open up that in a new window, and August 13, open that in a new window. Or bookmark them or whatever. Those 2 days, the market was exceptionally slow. And so what I did on those 2 days is I took the time and I went through all the signals. Those 2 sessions are probably the 2 most in-depth sessions explaining the Raptor signals. The first one explains the Raptor signals. The second one goes into market conditions and things of that nature that you want to be on the lookout for. They're each an hour and a half long, but really the signal segment is probably about 20 minutes. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And I see Phil's asking, can you explain the 1, 2, and 3? Yes, absolutely. I go through it on those videos as well, but so that you don't have to watch those videos. The one signal is your trend change signal. It is a high probability signal that tries to catch the beginning of a trend. There are two components required for the Raptor to print a number one signal. Actually, let me see if I can find one that's a little bit more obvious, just for demonstration purposes. Okay, this one will work. Okay, so with the number one signal, the two components you need is you need your clouds to cross. That's why we call it a cloud crossover signal. So you can see here for a few minutes, the clouds were crossed in a bearish fashion with the soft edge, this is what we call the soft edge, below the hard edge. The highlighted zone here is the hard edge. All right, so when the soft edge is above the hard edge or edges, we consider the market to be bullish, and we're going to concentrate on buy signals. When it is below the hard edges, we consider the market to be bearish, and we're going to look for sell signals. So the number one signal develops when the clouds change directions. So here we go from a bearish fashion to a bullish fashion. Right? You can see the soft edges crossing over. That's element number one. Element number two is there has to be a pullback and then a resumption of the new trend. Here the pullback was only for a bar and a half. See, we got one solid bar, that's a bearish bar. And then we had this little bit of a dip here, and then we came back and we produced the signal. Now the signal always produces in two parts. When most of the signal parameters are met, well, when half of them actually are met, we will produce a warning dot and an audio alert, similar to this here. When all the signal parameters are met, you're going to produce a triangle and a hash mark. Now you see in this instance, it actually happened in reverse. What ended up happening is we had the alert here, we had the warning dot and the audio alert, but then as the signal developed, it became engulfed in the triangle and hash mark. Everything happened on the same single bar. And then it happened again on the next bar where we once again got half of the signal parameters being met. So you'll see it will happen in different ways. Sometimes it will look like this. Sometimes we'll get the warning dot and then the triangle and the hash mark. Sometimes it will happen in reverse. Just know that the circle is your warning dot. It tells you that a signal is beginning to develop. And then the triangle and the hash mark tells you that you have a full signal. So that's your number one signal. Your number two signal is your counter trend signal. The two elements that are required for a counter trend signal is, first off, you have to have something resembling a trend. Now, that part we could not program. So you're visually going to have to determine, do I have something that looks like I have a trend? The other part we could program. The other part is the test of the extreme. So the test of the extreme is when the market tries to recover the trend but fails. You will recognize these as a 1, 2, 3 top. On the downside, it looks like this. Some call it a 1, 2, 3 top or bottom, or an M or W for obvious reasons. The idea is the same. The market is trying to recover the trend, in this case, trying to recover the downtrend. It can't, it starts to head the other way. In the chart here, we had an uptrend. The market tries to recover the uptrend. It can't. And then we produce a number two signal. That's the counter trend signal. The number three signal is a continuation signal. It is a hard edge bounce. When the market is trending, it will have a tendency from time to time to move back to one of the hard edges. When it does so, we anticipate a reaction. We anticipate the next signal will be the number 3 signal. The number 3 signal, because it is a continuation signal, first and foremost, you have to have something to continue. So there has to be something resembling a trend, or even an emerging trend. Next, you have to hit one of the hard edges, and then the market has to try to recover from there. So your number 1 signal is the cloud crossover signal. It tries to capture the beginning of a trend. The number 3 signal is your continuation signal. It shows you that a trend is possibly already in play and that this is going to be a good opportunity to try to continue with trend. And then your counter trend signal, which suggests that a trend is weakening and there may be a counter trend opportunity. Now, in hindsight, we probably should have labeled 2 and 3 opposite because the counter trend signal falls in between, but whatever, there you go. Ooh, that signal working out very nicely. Now notice we drifted all the way back here to the hard edge. The hard edge is your target for the counter trend signal, the lower hard edge. So we're actually getting some decent follow through here this morning. And now that the clouds are starting to cross over, I would probably expect a number 1 signal to print. So the clouds are crossing over, but before the number 1 signal will print, I have to have a pullback. It is odd that we came into the hard edge here without any reaction, however, so I'm not counting the buyers out either. Typically what happens before a market makes a full trend change reversal is somewhere through here, it has to retest the highs. It has to retest the trend before it can start heading the other direction. It's just what they do. Do they do it all the time? No. That's why we have things called V tops or V bottoms. But I don't know. I think after this morning's rather aggressive rally, I think the buyers owe us one more push to the upside. So that's kind of what I would be looking for. So we drifted back to the 7,900 area. Now it looks like we're trying to recover a little bit, and that shouldn't be too much of a surprise. So what I'm holding out for now is, well, I'd like to see a test of the extreme here to the short side. A test of the extreme, an attempt on the seller's part now to recover the market lower. A failure for them to do that will really open up the opportunities to take the market higher on that bigger test of the extreme that I was just talking about. And just waiting. All right, well, still waiting on the pullback. I'm looking for my pushback. The sellers came down here. The buyers recovered around, well, we'll call it 78.90. And they rallied up a little bit. Somewhere through here, the sellers have got to knock the market down a little. Here we go. All right. So we've kind of got the market. Well, we at least have the upside. We at least have the upside limit. We know the market is reacting here around 79.06. This is going to be what I call an early number one signal. Okay, so I'm going to throw in my order above those highs, get my stop loss order out of the way. Now, this signal right here that's printing will not print as a number one signal because the clouds are still very, very neutral. However, I'm anticipating that if the market continues above this little area here, see the clouds are trying to cross. I've had my pullback. Here's the signal. I'm making the market take out this high though before I try to get in. The Bollinger Suite already in sync, so that's encouraging. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get that bigger test of the extreme that I was talking about. If they're actually going to try come up here, challenge the highs. And, you know, there's potential. The market pretty bullish here this morning. There's potential for a bigger move, but I always tell you guys you should take profit on target. So I should take profit on target. I don't want to be one of those do as I say, not as I do kind of people. Goodness knows I've left enough money on the table here this morning. Come on, get up there. Getting ready with my stop loss order. Now, one thing to be aware of, as the clouds are now in sync, somewhere through here, there's going to be another pullback as the market attempts to make a proper number one signal. But hopefully, they'll sneak up there and get to my profit target first. Come on. Wow. Don't stop now, you stinkers. All right, well, we'll just have to wait. Be patient, Eric. Okay, so we're about almost 3/4 of the way to the profit objective. I'll bring my stops up and come on, you stinkers. Here, we'll give them a little hand. Sometimes we'll use the magic mouse here and push the market higher. Come on, get up there. Get going. Get going. Come on. There we go. Come on. A little bit more. A little bit more. Oh, I'm getting tired here. Trying to push the market up. Come on. Oh, you guys, you're killing me here. All right, well, now you can see the warning dot. Excuse me, we're going to get the proper #1 signal developing if the market can continue higher here, but I am a little suspect. They didn't have much follow through there to the long side, so maybe I should try it short again. Today, for those of you new with the Raptor, days like today are going to be very frustrating because the market is searching for direction. What you need to do is you need to concentrate on your high probability signals, and you need to limit how often you trade. Typically, I have a 3 trade quota. Some days I'll knock it down to 1 or 2, depending on how well the first 2 trades do. But you don't want to keep trading. You don't want to keep going back into the market because eventually you will suck up a losing trade. Well, we're very neutral here at the moment. All right, now we're going to get a number one signal here to the short side. There it is. All right, I'm going to take a look at shorting that. So what's going on here is the market's not going up. So it's going to want to possibly go down. We are very constipated here at the moment. You can see the trading band very, very sideways. And that's going to be true across the board here. The eagle flip-flopping. The hawk actually kind of bearish already. Well, sorry, as is the falcon. So maybe we're not quite as stuck as I thought we were. Okay, what are we going to get? If they push back from here again, we're going to have now a test of the extreme to the short side. And that will actually give us an opportunity to buy the market higher as well. We're going to have it in a bit of a bind. All right. Come on, give me a little pushback one way or the other. See what's going on with the other tools here. See, the Falcon already changing a little bit. The Hawk also a little bit of a mess. Phil and anyone else in the room, if you have questions about how to use the tools, please ask. I'm here for your benefit. All right, so the number one signal printed right here, you can see we actually did not encounter the hard edge, but visually, you might still interpret that as a hard edge bounce, in which case this would be a number 3 signal, a continuation signal. Stops actually relatively tight for this trade, but I don't want to give them too much more room here. I do have a meeting at the top of the hour, so hopefully we'll be able to close this trade out in the next few minutes. Come on. Wow, the lack of follow through here is impressive. All right, if you're going to stay with the market today, we do still have the opening gap below the market. I'm going to give the nod here to the sellers. The buyers have had ample opportunity to rally the market up unsuccessfully. Now note, as soon as I said that, here come the buyers. Come on. Whenever the market is flip-flopping like this, it's always going to be difficult trading. No, they're not going to give it to me. Stinkers. We're just too neutral right now. All right, gang, I'm going to close up shop here, and I will talk at you again tomorrow. Be careful out there. The market is really, really sideways at this moment. Best thing to do is to wait for something actually resembling a trend to develop, and then trade it from there. All right, see you tomorrow then. Bye for now.